Hi, everybody. Hope everybody has been enjoying these incredible interviews that we've been having today. If you've watched the last two, you know that I'm ready to go to Lebanon and go see my friends and the people there. And I have the honor and privilege of interviewing not just a Dream Team member, but a friend today on today's live. Madison, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. And I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I'm glad I get to be with Michelle.
I was really excited about this one. Madison has such an incredible insight on Club 1040 and an insight on Lebanon and the people there. So I'm really looking forward to bringing you guys a new perspective than all the other interviews today. So today what we're doing is we're celebrating 29 years of Club 1040 being in ministry, 29 years ago, they left for the UK with nothing in their pocket. I think in their apartment, they had nothing but a used mattress and they just slept on the floor. And I love their story. I love their heart and their mission and what we get to be a part of today.
Yeah.
So we're celebrating Club 1040 Day.
I think multiple times a day as I'm sitting in the office, I think multiple times a day that I'm so glad that they went 29 years ago when I came in 2 years ago. I'm very grateful.
I know. I think about it too. Like my grandparents and my mom and dad had Matt and Julie's, like they used to come out with these newsletter things that were for the fridge and they were long and they would put like their family photos on it. And my whole life I had these in front of my face and I never knew that I was looking at my husband. Like 20 years of that. I had no idea. I just love that, the impact that they were making and they didn't even know it. Awesome. They were sending me love letters through the mail. They didn't know it. So Madison, today we get to talk about Club 1040 Day and your experience with Lebanon and all of that. But first, let's talk about you and how did you end up in Tulsa?
Well, I actually ended up in Tulsa. I went to undergrad and graduated and then just something inside me knew that I needed to go to Bible college after that. I genuinely can't explain it other than just like a sure knowing that this was like what God wanted me to do, was to go to Bible college and to learn and to just spend 2 years just training and getting everything that I could get out of my teachers, out of the word, out of the people around me. So
you moved to Tulsa specifically to go to Rhema?
Yes, I did.
Had you heard of it before that, or how did you hear about it?
Just a little bit. Both of my pastors went to Bible college and the one here in Tulsa. And so, I didn't know a ton. Even when I got here, I didn't even know when classes were, what times they started. Yeah. I just knew I had to go.
Yeah, I love that. That just speaks a lot about you. So you moved to Tulsa, started going to Rhema. How did you meet the Beamers? How did you get to be a part of the Club 1040 team?
Well, when you come to Rhema, we have like one admissions counselor, and this at the time was Christy Wicks, our team lead. And Christy handed me, I was in her office one day and I was like, I need a job. I want something that I can invest in, something I can do well, something I can use my skills for. And she handed me a piece of paper that said, finance and admin for Club 1040. And I was like, sure. Like if you said it, I'm sure it's a good thing. And, at that point I'd known one other missionary, basically in my entire life. And it was the person that I worked for before. And she was a missionary kid. So, I really had not very much experience at all with missions, but I knew that like it was a job I could do well. And so I was like, let's do it.
I love that. I know that, we said this earlier, but if you know anything about Madison, she's like the Swiss Army knife of the group. You ask her to do something or you think about an opportunity to overcome something. Madison's on top of it. Like she's your girl. She's your fix it. I know that just being a Dream Team member, I love being a part of the team with Madison. She's such a gift to the Club 1040 team. So you're in Bible college right now. Talk about, you graduated second year. What'd you graduate doing?
I just graduated in the general studies program.
Okay. And then what are you doing this year?
This year I'm doing third year School of World Missions.
Okay. And in your 2 weeks of going to school, how has it been?
It has been awesome. It's really given me just it's kind of almost felt like it's taken weight off my shoulders because, you know, you always kind of wonder what's your future going to be.
Yeah.
And at this point, I realized like I never thought that I'd be at Bible college. So the planning thing doesn't always work if you're just listening to God. So
Yeah.
doing this now, it just feels like it's what God wants me to do. And so you feel lighter, you feel better when you're following his plans and his purpose. So
I love that. So in the last 2 years and then beginning of this year, do you have any moments while being at school that just really impacted you or was like a aha in your heart?
I mean, so many things. I'll tell on myself is when I like some of the first days in school, Dean Tad, who's the dean right now, he was like, turn to First John. And I was like, or I think he said turn to Second John. I was like, there's a Second John. I like looked over to my neighbor and they were like, yeah, and a first, and there's John. I was like, what? I had no idea. So it was like, it's so many things that I learned like just from that. And then you know, all of the truths that have, you know, been instilled in me and in my heart since going. That I guess that's a funny story, but that really shows like, you can not know a lot, you can know a lot, but there's always more to learn.
Yeah, you're a part of the Regals program there too. So tell me about like being plugged in with the relationships there with Regals and leaders around you.
Yeah, so relationships are huge. So even when it comes to, I love doing like children's ministry. So, you know, creating relationships with kids is sometimes even more difficult than adults, I think, because, you know, if kids don't want to talk to you, they won't. They won't be polite. So I get to work with the Regals and I do the 3rd to 5th grade, and you just get to practice and like really work on how to connect with people. And then even more than that, how to connect with young girls is super important to me. And so doing that program has helped like form relationships with the kids and then even like their parents and stuff. Like getting to know people is just so important.
Yeah. And speaking of kiddos, you help with the Around the World of Matt and Lizzie stuff at CLUB1040 So we have Humphrey out right now. Can they get Humphrey online?
They can't yet. We only have a few Humphreys left. So we sell these books that Julie has, Around the World with Matt and Lizzie. And these books are so awesome. They tell real life stories from the missions field. I read them. When I first read them, I was like, you do this? I asked her, I was like, this is real? Because, you know, that was the beginning. And I didn't know that much when I first started here about missions. And I was reading these books and I was learning a lot. So, you know, the Around the World of Matt and Lizzie books are huge and they really make an impact with children and with adults.
I love that. So, you know, when you first got here, you didn't have any firsthand experience, but you've taken a trip to Lebanon.
Yeah.
So tell me about why you were there and about your time there.
So I was able to go to Lebanon in April and May of this year. I was there for about 6 weeks. I was there for a couple of different reasons. One was it was my first missions trip ever. I've been working for a missions organization for like 2 years now. I hadn't been on one. So I thought it was, and so did Matt and Julie, thought it was pretty important for me to go. I also wanted to meet all of our team members over in Lebanon. It felt like Matt and Julie had been bringing people over to Lebanon for years. And everybody I talked to was like, I've been there. And I wanted to go so bad and meet my team members. So it was a really incredible opportunity. All of these people that I have been working with for 2 years and getting to meet them and spend time with them and form relationships with them was huge. And it's shown up even once I've gotten back that we already have a relationship. And so when we're working together, it's different and it's better.
Yeah, because you got to be on hand with the team there, with the MENA team over there, which is awesome. So what's something that you feel like impacted you the most on your trip while you were there?
I would say people always say this, and so I will too, is the people.
Yeah.
Like I said, the team over there is incredible. Joseph, Pamela, Christelle, and everybody that's on the MENA team, they are doing incredible things over there.
Yes.
They're forming relationships. They're bringing people into the family of God. They're doing all of these things that we do over on this side of the world after we've gone to Bible college.
Yeah.
After we've had that experience. So I look around, I spend time with them, and I look around and I think, man, you guys are doing all this, and you haven't even gotten to go to the Bible college that I've been able to, and I've gained all this knowledge and stuff, and you're out here and you're doing it without that, and that is just so incredible to me.
I love that. I love that we are training and mobilizing local leaders, because with the 3 people you just mentioned and so many others, these are local people to Lebanon, meaning that whenever, everything's said and done, they're the ones that are making the reach, right? Did you see that firsthand while you were there?
Yeah. I mean, we were at this, so we went and did a couple of house visits, and, we met some people. And at the end of the day, once I had left, those people, those team members were meeting with that person we met on the house visit.
Wow.
I was there for 6 weeks, and I'm glad I was able to be there to meet people and to be a help and to be a support to them. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I came back here and they were continuing on with those relationships and with those people that we were outreaching to. And so it's so important to invest in those people that are there, because they know the people, they know the culture, and putting them on fire for God is, key.
Yeah. And so while you were there too, you guys did experience days. Can you explain what those are and how you guys did that?
Yeah. So I actually went over with a team of a few students, also fellow students. And one thing that they did and we did was work on kind of doing an outline for Experience Day, which basically was an opportunity to bring people from all over Lebanon and to bring them in and let them kind of experience what it was to go to a Bible college for a day. So they came and they got to, sit under the instructors and just kind of get the feel for what it would mean to go every weekend and hear this type of truth and this type of word and revelation just brought to them. And so the experience days were huge, and we had big turnouts for the experience days. I believe there was 3, and one of them even had a kids component to it, which is really cool, because you think about it, going to Bible college, and as you continue to follow God, more and more revelation comes to you. And so that doesn't just affect you, it affects the generations after you. Yeah. So I love that those experience days got to also include the kids as well.
Yeah, I love that. And like we've been saying, Club 1040 is a missionary movement, relational missionary movement, reaching the unreached. And I mentioned this in the last one, but I want you to say it yourself. So we are reaching unreached people groups in the 22 nations in the 1040 window. So explain to me, whenever we talk about unreached people groups, who are we talking about?
So I like to say it like this. It kind of brings more of a realistic or a down-to-earth explanation of it. Is, if I walk, especially right now being in Oklahoma and kind of living in the Bible Belt, if I walk over and I meet a neighbor, somebody who doesn't go to church, that isn't an unreached people group. That isn't somebody who's unreached. Sure, it's somebody who doesn't go to church or maybe isn't saved or doesn't know, have the revelation of the gospel. But that's different than these unreached people groups in the 1040 window. Yeah. That is where the most unreached people groups are. And almost the definition of the unreached people group is somebody who doesn't even know somebody who knows somebody. I'll say it one more time, who knows somebody who's heard the name of Jesus. And so that isn't everybody here in America has at least heard the word Jesus. People in these unreached groups haven't even heard that, let alone had the opportunity to hear the gospel. Yeah. So that is so important, is to give these people the opportunity to hear the gospel. And so the people in Lebanon will be able to be trained and, go out and reach those people.
Yeah, I love that. And I know that whenever I was there on that trip, I didn't get to be there as long as you did. You got to experience the culture and the people for such a good amount of time and build such relationships. But everyone there, you can tell that they were hungry. Like you met the people. And one thing that we've been talking about is that we're looking for 100 students. We're looking to sponsor 100 students to be able to go to the Bible college. And out of the population, 10% of the Christians in Lebanon will be attending this Bible college.
Yeah.
And I just think that's absolutely incredible. So talking about the people and the developing the local leaders there and all of that, how important is it that we have a Bible college in Lebanon?
So I actually have some pictures from meeting some of my friends there, and I'll give this example. I know we talked to Christelle earlier, but one thing that inspired me about Christelle was how a lot of times things for her were black and white. You know, you're either following Jesus or you need to start following Jesus. You know, she is so strong in the word and in her beliefs and in her fire, you know, for the Lord. And so being able to have this opportunity to get even more training, to know how to reach even more people, you know, she's been bringing people to church like nobody's business. And so, you know, you think about that and then you add in all of the revelation and the training that you can gain in 2 years. And that is a game changer. You see my friend B right there too. These are people that, you know, I was grateful. I am so grateful to have the opportunity to get this type of training. And now they're going to be able to get that same opportunity as well. Same with like, you see Pamela and Joseph and then my friend Ciela over there too. So it's so special to, you know, not only be in the body of Christ with these people, but also, you know, share in the culture and in the revelation of going to Bible college, getting this training, and then using it for the Lord.
Yeah. I love that. I know that listening to like Matt Hannibal and other people talking today, and even Julie said this, it's bigger. Every time I think about it, it just gets bigger in my head. Launching a Bible college in Lebanon is a historical moment because this is the first Bible college in the Middle East that we get to be a part of. Isn't that just incredible?
It blows my mind that we get the chance to be a part of this. Like you said earlier, you know, we get 100 students and that's 10% of the spirit-filled believers, you know, in Lebanon. If you think about that, that's just crazy. You know, like let's say we do another intake next year, that's another 100, that's 20%. You do another one after that. And, you know, that type of impact multiplies very quickly.
Yeah.
You think about, you go 2 times 2, 2 times 4, you know, you just keep doing that, like the exponential growth. But if you do that and you start at 90, that's insane. You know, the increase, the opportunity that we have to sow right now, kind of at ground zero, but ground zero is starting 90 people ahead. So that is just, it's mind blowing and it's an incredible opportunity and it's a worthy opportunity. You know, you think about the fruit that we've had in Nigeria and in Egypt and all these other spaces and how that's changed the culture. We heard from Tokes this morning about, you know, having 6,000 students. 6,000 students in Rema, Nigeria right now is more people than our evangelical believers in Lebanon right now.
Wow.
So you just think about the massive amount of impact that we're able to have right now at the very beginning. And if you think about it too hard, it'll blow your mind. But
I know it gets me so excited. It's like the fact that even if I don't get to go and physically be there because of my seed of being a partner, my sowing of being a partner, I still get to affect this. I get to help create impact in these areas, which makes me feel empowered.
Yeah. So I'm thinking even like, I want to encourage everybody who's watching this, you know, those faces that I showed you today, you know, with Christelle and Ciela and Joseph and Pamela, every single one of those people is directly affected by one of your sponsorships. You know, one person decides to partner for $78 per month for 24 months, and they get to go and get the truth of God planted in their hearts. You know, it's a very direct impact that you can have in each one of these people's lives. And, you know, there's 80, 85 other people who you will directly affect by sponsoring them going to Bible college. And it almost makes me, you know, tear up because it's just so exciting that it's people that you know, it's people that we know, it's team members, it's people who are coming from other churches. but it's a direct impact in investment. At the end of the day, it's an investment in each one of their lives and in the kingdom of God.
Yeah. I love that so much. Do you have like a story of one or a way that the Bible college has impacted you, or maybe a story that someone else has shared that really stood out to you?
Yeah, I will say it kind of mixes everything together.
Yeah.
When I was in Lebanon, we went to a bakery, and there was this girl in there, and she was super smiley and sweet. And so I said hi to her, and then I walked out, and I was sitting in the van. I was like, I think I should go invite her to church. And everybody was like, yeah, go do it. So I walked back in there and I invited her, and she was so excited, but she ended up going to church the next day, and she's been going to the youth group. And then I found out the other day that she actually went to one of our alpha groups, which is like basically introducing people to Jesus and the gospel. And so you see that was one thing I was able to do there. But I invited her to church, but the fellowship and the discipleship that she's been given by those people who are in Lebanon right now is what really impacted her, impacted her walk. So it's like everybody working together. And that's kind of the key, is everybody working together. We can do this from our side. We can invest, we can invite the people to church. I can do that. But we can also invest in those people who are already over there, who are going to take these seeds that we're planting and they're going to grow them.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, it's when you hear the little stories, like we have all these people here, like Rafi, and all these different stories of how one relationship affected their life and then they affect someone else. And I mean, even Tokes this morning, it's the same thing. It's everyone you talk to, Tony Cook, the Hannibals, one touch equaled touch. And it's why we have that X at the bottom of the screen over there. Yeah. We are planning and doing multiplication. That's what we want to do here. And so it is just so exciting to see everything that's happening and everything that's going on. So what are we asking people to do today? Why are we here, Madison?
Today, we are here to just encourage people to, like I said, sow that seed into Lebanon and into the Middle East by partnering for $78 a month for 24 months. Or you can do any amount for 24 months, or even a one-time donation. And when you do that, you are partnering with the people who are going to Bible college in Lebanon. So we are looking to seek for scholarships for these students. So you can see it at the bottom of the screen. It's kind of rolling past you. But to do that and to give, you can text Lebanon to Lebanon 1040 to 71777, or go to club1040.com, and on our projects page, you'll see the Bible college, and you can just click on that. But, we're asking for, sometimes a monetary, but it's more than that. It's an investment in people, and it's an investment in the kingdom. Julie said, send me, I'll go. And this is kind of what you can do. You can send those people to get trained and to go into all the world.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining. I loved hearing your story, Madison. Right now we have 5.5 scholarships paid for from today. So thank you guys. Thank you to our partners. Thank you to everybody that's involved. When I say that, honestly, I'm holding back tears because you are making an impact.
Yeah.
You guys saying yes to partner with us this way and to partner with Club 1040 and partner with the Bible College. You are changing lives. And when you get to heaven one day, you are going to see the people that you never knew that you touched come up to you and say, thank you for your gift. No matter if it's $1 or if it's $10,000, you are making a difference. And from somebody who sees the Club 1040 office side, and Madison too, we are so grateful that you guys listen to this and have decided to partner with us. And we're just so thankful. So we hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next live.
Thanks. Bye.